All right, folks. We apologize. We had to go offline and stop streaming due to my technical difficulties. So you're gonna get the rest of our episode pre-recorded. So of course I'm here with the wonderful Caroline and the wonderful Alana. So
Ilana now.
now apparently it's Elana now. It's Elana, everyone. Um,
And I apologize, my voice is too loud. I honestly just talk really loud. That's probably. Sorry. I'll shut up.
no, girl, you go, girl, you go. Where were we before we had my technical snafu?
You were gonna talk about Lolita.
Oh yes, yes. The wonderful book here by Raven Digitalis, which we are actually going to have an interview with in a few weeks, and you can see the book here, Goth Craft by Raven Digitalis. He actually, let me just read the first paragraph, because, I actually wasn't overly familiar with the whole Lolita Goths until I actually read, because he talks about all the different fashion styles within the Goth subculture, and he actually talks about Lolita Goth. Now, to quote, a international cousin of the baby doll, the Lolita Goth style is a cute and girly, but not necessarily sexual. The word Lolita in Japanese culture is not synonymous with the common perception of the word in English. Unfortunately, the word Lolita, sometimes shortened to Lole, has gained negative associations mostly through pornography industry referring to a sexually promiscuous and manipulative young female. To combat the negative stereotypes, some members of the Lolita fashion community refer to this style simply as EGL, Elegant Gothic Lolita, or another name referencing a similarly innocent look, Mana, from the dark Japanese rock, J-rock, band Malice Miser, created the EGL fashion with his clothing line. The EGL fashion and lifestyle gained momentum when Malice Miser went public in the late 90s. Mana is now the lead guitar player in Modix Morse, whose members also embrace elegant Japanese Gothic styles. He also promotes EGL through his shop in Tokyo. The Lolita lifestyle is separate from the Gothic scene, though its various variations present many overlapping qualities.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a lot more in depth than I thought it was going to be. It has a lot more
Yeah.
backstory than I was aware of till I read that.
Caroline's just back there, like, I still don't really like it.
Yeah. no, I mean, I don't know how the term Caroline you're in Norway and Scandinavia as a whole. I don't know if the term Lolita has the negative connotations that it does here in the States with Alana and myself, but
As far as I know, like the whole loving Japanese thing is there's a lot of people.
Is she fading in and out?
yeah. Can you get a little closer to the speaker?
Hello, hello.
There we go. Much better.
Okay.
Um, Here in Norway, like dressing Lolita and like anime inspired is really popular. It's huge. They have like conventions all the time.
Okay.
They love, as I call it, like white people pretending to be Asians pretending to be white people.
It's called Weeaboo.
Like the makeup that Asians do to make their
Right.
eyes look bigger and stuff like that.
Right.
The Norwegians will do that, and it's like you already have the futures that the Asians are trying to do. But here it's mostly a positive thing, I guess. It's pretty popular, but it's not. I don't think it's so much of a lifestyle. I guess it's just for conventions and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's pretty big, actually.
Yeah, because there's a
I
lot.
know.
There's a well. as I'm sure Alana has seen and heard, there's a lot of negative associations with the term Lolita. Like the when I was reading from the book, it is a very sexually promiscuously charged term, used unfortunately in a very negative context more times than not. So when you say Lolita Goth, that right off the bat, that I can understand why that can make some people uncomfortable.
Just call it something else, please.
I think that's hilarious with the whole sexual thing, because a lot of people like the little girl thing, and I experienced that a lot.
And that's probably why one of why our viewers was, she said, Black Death was like, it makes me feel uncomfortable. I can understand that. That's not a big shock.
I think later in the chat, she also mentioned that she was on the smaller side, so I wonder if she had tried just like that and got some really negative reaction.
That's possible too. That's absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get all the creeps, like people who like little girls, and I'm like, oh.
Like, oh.
Yeah, that's girl. Yeah.
Well, I am a little girl. I just look like one. I'm not.
Yeah, you're older than I am.
Barely.
Yeah.
Barely.
No,
yeah.
That's and and even though if the Lolita Goths are not, they just try to do this girly kind of look without being sexualized, which apparently most of them, apparently are not trying to. They just like the girl. They're just going for a girly look, an overly girly, emphasized look. People looking at that from the outside of our culture looking in aren't going to really understand those nuances. They're just going to say, oh, look at these Goths, they're all into child porn, basically. That's going to be some of those associated.
I didn't even put that together.
Yeah, and that's, that doesn't really do us any favors. So I'm really, sure, I'm all about free expression. Express yourself and find the Gothic fashion that you can embrace. But on the flip side, it's so I do agree that perhaps another term or another phrase to describe it would probably be a little, that's more universally neutral without so much baggage attached to it, would probably benefit everyone.
Most likely.
Now, Caroline, we've kind of talked a little bit about, we've been talking about Gothic Amino today throughout this conversation. Give us what's kind of the fun stuff going on at Gothic Amino this week. Give us some fun stories, give us some fun drama.
Well, the past week hasn't been as bad as when we did the last show, when it was so terrible that I didn't even want to be on there. It's been pretty quiet, honestly, for the most part. There's been mostly like spammy posts, a little young negative people and stuff like that. It hasn't been too bad, luckily.
That's good.
No, that is good. Yeah, I haven't been called a poser or a bad cosplayer or anything lately, so I must be doing something right.
Ouch.
Oh yeah. My profile picture is me in my Gothic Victorian attire. Oh, Gothic Victorian, and I had some wannabe on there the other week saying, "Look at you with your picture. You look like a bad cosplayer." I'm like, wait a minute. You do know this is a Gothic Amino. I'm Victorian Goth.
This is how I like to dress.
Isn't this kind of the whole point of me being here? Is I'm expressing one of the fashion styles of Goth, and you're calling me a bad cosplayer? What? Where are you coming from? Like, you're insane. You're not making. If you're going to insult me, come on. You got to do something better than, look at how you dress. Like, seriously, that applies to
Like,
95%
I
of the
know
people
how
there.
I dress.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have it in my fucking profile picture if I was embarrassed by it. Like, seriously. I mean, come on, people.
And come on, how much did that jacket cost you? Like, my God, that is not some low quality.
I know, yeah. Like I was gonna go there, but then I would have been, oh, look at you, you're being all elitist. I would have got the elitist thing. Then I would have had to fight the elitist thing. If I happen to mention, yeah, that coat is $550 worth more than everything you're probably wearing right now combined. But we won't go, just the jacket. But we won't go there. We won't fucking go there.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
You know, now I can get called elitist because, whatever. I give up. I just give up on, I just give up. Like, whatever, people. Call me whatever you want at this point. I'm just so over it.
Some
Now,
stuff that you were like angry about earlier this week.
oh my god, yeah, a lot of people were kind of pissing me off. Well, basically, one of the things that really was grinding my gears, people's confusing fashion with being absolute goth.
Right.
You know, like okay. This is what was blowing my mind. I'm in one of the elder goth chat rooms, and there's this person here. We're not going to use names, of course. This particular person who barely looked old enough legally to drink, and she was calling herself an elder, and I was just like, really?
I don't like the people who like say that, oh, I was goth since I was 4.
Yes,
So,
that's exactly. But in her case, fucking case, oh, I've been goth since I was 7. I was just like,
Cool.
face palm, like fucking face palm. Like, I got no words. I got no fucking words.
Honestly, like, I understand the whole thing about being spookily inclined when you're a child.
Yes, I get it. I get it. Yes.
What kid doesn't love Halloween and Nightmare Before Christmas? And
Right?
stuff like that, dressing up like a
That's a good
vampire
point.
or a witch. Everyone does that. Like, come on. I would say, like, as a child, I was slightly more like that. I watched, like, hardcore horror movies, and I liked Dracula. I read, like, those type of books that were people a lot older than me. Stuff like that. I loved, I have the book right here. This is a Norwegian comic, Nemi, by Lise Myhre. She's really popular in the English-speaking world now. I have her tattoo right here.
Nice.
Same tattoo she does. And as a kid, I really looked up to her and wanted to be like her. And by the time I grew up, I realized I'm exactly like her. And I didn't even think about that she was a goth metalhead and stuff. And I don't know if you remember the show The Tribe. But that was this show where all the adults died for some reason. There was a virus, and all these
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
clubs, clans, and they dressed up like super extravagant with face paint and stuff. And I love these 2 characters called Ebony and Lex. And they dressed up in like red and black leather, and they had dreads, and they had lots of eyeliner and stuff like that. So there's couple of things since I was a child that I like that can be considered, things that made me what I am today, but I don't say that, oh, I was a goth since I was 3 because I dressed up as a witch for Halloween like every other kid. Like, I didn't find and, like, love goth music until I was 17.
Yeah.
I went to my first Gothic Graveyard at 18. So that's, like, where I consider myself starting living the goth lifestyle and stuff like that. I don't say that I'm not an elder goth. I'm not. I'm fucking 22 years old. No. I consider maybe you, Peter. You can be elder goth.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
You know? You're
The
not
backhanded compliment.
You fucking old man, you're a fucking elder. Just say, Caroline, just call me old. That's all right. Just call me old. 500-year-old fucking
Like,
vampire. Just call me
10
old.
years.
I get it now. I get it.
And it's like, okay. Or maybe even 20 years older than me. Then it's like, oh, you've actually experienced the scene when it started, and I have a lot of respect for that. But if you're
Absolutely.
my age,
Right.
I mean, you can give advice.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
Like, I give advice to 9-year-olds.
Yeah.
There are 9-year-olds that want to explore.
All right, and I understand why these people are saying this, because they just want to feel important, they want to feel inclusive in the scene. I psychologically I understand why they're doing this, but it still fucking grinds my gears. And I'm not trying to say I'm the fucking elitist elder goth guy and I know all. I've said it multiple times on the show. I'll say it again. I don't know all. I don't pretend to know all. I've never claimed to know all. I'm just a guy doing his thing. But just because I point out that, a fact that goes against your belief doesn't make me elitist. It makes me someone who's pointing out a fucking fact. And when something isn't goth, like by definition, by the established, accepted definition of what goth is, and I say, I'm sorry, that's not goth. That might be this, that might be that, but it's not goth. That's not me being a fucking elitist. That's me just stating a fact. And people need to put their big boy, girl, or big girl pants on and just say, oh, you know what? Yeah, maybe he's right. Instead of getting all fucking defensive and getting your fucking panties in a bunch. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, if I posted some of the music I listen to on a regular basis, I know I would probably lose my goth card pretty quickly. Because I love goth music. I also really like techno music, pop music, classical music. I like most types of music.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not about to post, like, fucking Mr. Kitty and be like, this is goth.
Yeah, exactly. And that goes right back to what we were saying earlier. Just because you're in the goth subculture or a goth doesn't mean everything you like is goth. And it doesn't automatically make every interest goth. That's just not how it works. It isn't, goth isn't goth by osmosis. That's not how it fucking works.
And, like, I feel bad that people take it so personally, but don't take it so personally,
Exactly. I get a lot of people that get angry with me when I disable stuff because it's, like, overly off topic, or it's just plain spam, or stuff like that.
I mean,
it's hard.
Even if you listen to a non-goth band, I know one of the other curators did a post like this. She took, like, specific songs and she, like, identified gothic elements in it, or creepy elements, or instruments that they used that were more goth. And I think that's a great idea. I mean, that way you can kind of get your other interests out there and really share with maybe why you like it. Something like that. But don't just be like, okay, this is, I don't know, Britney Spears, and she's goth, now accept it.
I just did it again.
Oh my god.
That's the best goth song ever.
I can feel it in my bones.
All right. So is that all the drama, ladies, for Amino this week? Have we covered everything we want to cover?
It hasn't been that bad, honestly.
I've seen a lot of people posting, like, I need a new best friend, or I want a girlfriend. That's been funny.
Really? That's
yeah.
That's the new thing now?
We've got some dating posts that we've taken down.
Yeah.
That's not allowed. That's just Amino guidelines, like, overall. We can't have that on there. And it's
as I totally agree. There should not any kind of post about self-harm or that perpetuates a negative stereotype that isn't what goth's about, A, and B, let's be honest, 95% of those are just for attention. They're just, look at me, look at me, I'm being fucking uber mopey goth. Not even mopey goth, I'm being uber fucking emo. That's really what it's about. And
Yeah.
that has no place in a real goth community. So the last thing I want to talk about is this cool book I got called Morbid Curiosities by Paul Gambino. You can see it right there. It is a book about Paul Gambino. He went to 18 people who have curiosity and macabre collections, from skulls to animals and human parts in jars, to old surgical and medical equipment, to the remains of deformed animals and people. And he interviews these people, why they collect these macabre things, and it's all pictures describing parts, the main parts of their collections. And it's a real, if you're a goth, obviously in the macabre, this book is the definition of the macabre. It is just so fascinating, seeing all these things. Here's some pictures here you can see.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, of some of the collections he talks about. Everything from old school Ouija boards to deformed remains of children. Just all sorts of cool things in these various collections that he talks about. And he, as I said, he interviews the people who are maintaining these collections, the owners of these collections, how they got into it. Obviously, most of them have, as you would expect, either gothy or punk backgrounds, or some or occulty backgrounds, things like that. So, and here's this is very interesting. This is a World War II baby gas suit.
Really cool.
When the United Kingdom thought Germany was going to start dropping poison gas, they distributed these gas baby suits for children from two and under, and you could put them in the suit and use a hand pump to get to filter the air. So yeah, it was just amazing. All sorts of morbid, occulty, macabre kind of collections. A very, very good book. So if you're interested in that. That's my book pick of the episode.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I want to thank you, ladies. I appreciate you putting up with the technical difficulties today. We'll definitely work those out next time. And Alana, thank you so much. I hope you had fun. It
was fun.
I hope you come back again soon. I think getting more than just Caroline and I going back and forth. I think it's fun to have three people, and you can have more of a interaction and get more points of view. So thank you, Alana. For those people who want to get in touch with you, social media, what have you, how can they track you down?
I guess Amino would be the best. I did leave a comment in one of the live streams. It's a very old picture of me, but you should be able to recognize me. I guess Amino would be the best. My Amino name is Tulip Night because I have zero creativity. And
awesome. And Caroline Carnivorous. Basically, you just Google Caroline Carnivorous and they'll get all your social media.
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe some embarrassing. Mostly I'm active on Amino as Caroline Carnivorous, and my blog, carolinesometimes.blogspot.com.
Awesome. And anyone wants to reach out to me or any of us on the Twitter, as you can see below us, Goth_Graveyard. Leave a comment on our YouTube page, of course. We always read them. We always respond to them. We always will take your feedback for upcoming shows. And if you want to reach out to me directly, pretty easy to find. Easiest way, facebook.com/GothicWizard. So, thank you all for watching, and we will see you on the flip side. Take care, everyone.
Adios.